down! Hey, go! The door! No. No, please. Please, please don't!
Damn it. Jesus. what happened here. What's that? Oh, shit. Fuck. Mark! Hey! Mark! I could use that. I can make that. Hello? Shit! Yeah, fucking fetch. Mark?
What the hell? Charlie?
You're alive.
With broken ribs. Charlie, I thought you were dead.
I nearly was. I'm sorry for that. I thought...
How the hell did you make it out here?
Yeah, good to see you too, mate. I nearly got fried, you know.
I know. We saw it.
You saw it? What the hell does that mean?
How exactly did you get out of that?
Where are the others? Mark, are they safe?
We were all separated trying to get out. Gamet has the entire place rigged with traps. We're falling right into his game.
We have to get out of here. Get back to the ferry.
You met disabled it. We all agreed we'd head for the lighthouse if we can't signal for help.
I don't suppose there's any good news.
Actually,
I never thought I'd see this again. Jesus. I need to find a way out.
what is that smell? Ugh. I saw a dog out here.
Yeah, I did too. Mark! Hey! Mark! I could use that. I can make that. Hello? Shit! Yeah, fucking fetch. Worth a try. What? Mark?
What the hell? Charlie?
You're alive.
With broken ribs. Charlie, I thought you were dead.
I nearly was. I'm sorry for that. I thought...
How the hell did you make it out here?
Yeah, good to see you too, mate. I nearly got fried, you know.
I know. We saw it.
You saw it? What the hell does that mean?
How exactly did you get out of that?
Where are the others? Mark, are they safe?
We were all separated trying to get out. Demet has the entire place rigged with traps. We've fallen right into his game.
We have to get out of here. Get back to the ferry.
Demet disabled it. We all agreed we'd head for the lighthouse if we can't signal for help.
I don't suppose there's any good news.
Actually,
I never thought I'd see this again. Jesus.
is that smell? Ugh. I saw a dog out here.
Yeah, I did too. Scared the shit out of me.
You scared him off by panicking, most likely.
Fuck. Quiet. Stay calm.
Oh my God. What? What is he doing?
He's preserving his kills.
Why?
Because they're valuable to him. They're trophies. Keepsakes. Dumas sure seems to know a lot.
Do you think maybe we're dealing with more than one person?
What do you mean?
Tending this place, the weird robots, the traps. Could it be just one man?
It's one man. One very driven, very disturbed man. Oh, bloody hell.
suspect believed to be the shoe shine killer. Suspect is FBI Special Agent Hector Monday. He may be armed and is highly dangerous.
Dispatch, this is Officer Martinez. I found Mundy's car, requesting backup.
Officer Martinez, what's your location?
A warehouse on Park Avenue, Fulton River. Looks abandoned.
Officer Martinez, backup on its way. Hold your position.
Copy that. Shit! He's seen me!
Officer Martinez, hold your position.
Shit! We have a situation. Dispatch, the building's on fire.
Fire department on their way.
He's still in there. You read me? Copy. He's still in there.
We could go through here. Harrison and Lewis.
this holds.
Billy! Ah!
Hope this holds.
plan is to get to the lighthouse. She knows that.
I'm worried about Erin.
It's tougher than you give her credit for.
What if she's hurt?
If we go off book, we're just going to make things worse. Let's stick to the plan.
What if she can't stick to the plan? Francis Morello. I thought getting outside would make things better.
Did you hear that? There's something out there.
It's a forest. It could be anything.
I wonder if he's got cameras out here too.
Can you not freak me out any more than I already am?
This is usually where you'd bring up the Topeka shit show.
Give up Charlie's left nut to be in Topeka right about now.
You hear that?
What?
Like... whimpering. Is that...
hand?
Oh, oh. Aaron, holy shit. You're okay?
Erin, I'm so glad you're okay. Give me a hand.
You're fine.
Where's Kate? Jamie? Have you seen them? Do you know where they are?
We got separated in the woods. I was too scared to stop and look. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay, Aaron. They'll get here.
I found a way inside. Come on.
Amazing. Well done, Aaron.
You're not coming with us.
What? Are you...
I heard your call with Dumet. You set this all up. You set us up to die.
Erin, you are out of your mind. I would never... You know you can trust me.
70% of murderers kill somebody they know. Somebody who trusts them.
It's 79%. But I am not a murderer.
We're dead in the water. And I can't think of a bigger sell than a dock crew recording their own murders while on assignment.
Do you hear what you're saying? That is insane. You're in shock and you're not thinking straight. I would never...
Mark, we need to tie him up until help gets here. He'll either stab us in the back or get Dumet to do it.
Erin, I would...
Quiet!
Aaron, whoa. I've worked with Charlie for a long time. He's selfish control freak who'd fuck any of us over if he had to, but he's not a murderer.
I know what I heard.
I believe you, but maybe that's what you were supposed to hear. Look, I'll watch him. Promise.
You're both fucking mad.
Let's figure out how to get this thing working.
At 0600 hours, I, Officer Frank Hooper, discovered that one or multiple individuals had gained unauthorized access to the evidence room at 1612 West State Street. Among the missing items were assets recovered from the apartment of former FBI agent Hector Monday, including books, clothes, notes, surgical tools, and dental equipment. We are currently running with the theory that this was the direct result of souvenir hunters looking for a piece of memorabilia from the case. End of report.
Hector Waylon Monday.
Mr. Dumet, I want my team dead. I'll get them to you. This weekend. Just do it.
I never said any of that shit.
I'm certainly grateful to you, Mr. Dumet. I want my team dead. I'll get them that this weekend. Let's do it.
I'm such an idiot. I wanted this to work so much, I just accepted everything he said.
It's been edited. I'm such an idiot. Jesus. I'm a sound tech and I fell for it.
You're in shock. All of us are. Don't beat yourself up.
So, Erin?
I'm sorry, Charlie.
Looks like there may be another boat on the island. Ah! Son of a bitch! Give me a dog any day.
Mark, what the hell was that? You alright?
Yeah, just a stupid cat. No way. Come on.
down.
Tampering with the seal is a federal offense.
Ow!
Oh, ah. Fuck yes! Woo! Hey, hey, guys, up here! Kate, Jamie, I'm here!
The hell is that smell? Jesus.
Oh, there you are. I wasn't expecting you. Are you early for a change?
What the fuck is this?
You're a selfish monster. Always have been.
Hey. Hey. Who are you?
Jesus.
Always right to your favorite page. Predictable little shit. I know you.
Oh, thank God. It's only you.
Thank God. Have you seen Mark?
He's all right. He's trying to get that bloody light going.
Mark? Please tell me you can hear me. Mark! I thought I lost you.
What the hell? Oh.
Hands where I can see them, all of you!
He killed them.
No talking! I said, hands where I can see them!
Thank God you're here. You have to help us.
Until I know what's happening here, no one moves.
Sir! Sir, behind you! The boat!
Seriously, lady?
There! Let's go!
Get his gun!
This way. This should work.
Oh, it's not working. Starter cord. There. Work, damn it!
Hey, Connie. Good to see you, boy. Come on.
Come on! Just work! Go!
We did it.
Barely. I'll take it.
We have to call the police.
Aim for the lights. You know, I've just had a great idea for series 2.
All that's missing is a big final twist.
Good luck finding a host for that bullshit. I'm out.
I'm just glad I'm in one piece.
Hang on!
No, please.
where I can see them! All of you!
He killed them.
No talking! I said, hands where I can see them!
Thank God you're here. You have to help us.
Until I know what's happening here, no one moves.
We didn't kill anyone, but we know who did.
You'll have a chance to tell your story.
There, let's go.
Get his gun!
Come on. This way. This should work.
Oh, it's not working. Starter cord. There. Work, damn it!
Hey, Connie. Good to see you, boy. Come on.
Come on! Just work! Go!
We did it.
Barely. I'll take it.
We have to call the police.
Aim for the lights. You know, I've just had a great idea for series 2.
All that's missing is a big final twist.
Good luck finding a host for that bullshit. I'm out.
I'm just glad I'm in one piece.
Hang on!
No, please.
If that song doesn't put a smile on your face, I don't know what will. We have a non-stop block for your favorite classic rock after this break.
No damn commercials. Ugh. Oh, shoot. Shit! And I looked up, and there they were just in the middle of the flipping road, waving their hands and arms like a bunch of crazies.
Where are you coming in from?
Fort Wayne. Been driving since 3 a.m.
Early start.
Well, I was trying to get into the port by 8. Probably not gonna make that now, am I?
I'd say likely not.
You know what? I think I'm gonna see about that studio in Brooklyn. See if I can make it work. After this, starting over feels like a good idea.
Yeah. Just promise me you'll tell me how it goes.
Only if you promise to keep giving me unsolicited advice.
Count on it.
So, probably not the right time to ask this, but
Oh God, what?
are we are we a thing?
Dude, trauma bonding is legit hot. Fuck yes, we're a thing.
Need a smoke, buddy?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm trying to quit.
Oh, you're here. All good things must come to an end, but how good was the end for our crew? Hats off for keeping all of them alive. That's so rewarding for you. Has the experience changed them? Kate had a secret. She was traumatized by something that happened a long time ago, but she faced the thing she was most afraid of in the whole world and survived. Jamie learned that she had to trust other people and work with them, and to care for them. Mark had to stop waiting for people to tell him what to do. He had to make his own way in the world. Erin showed everyone that though she might be easily spooked, she found immense courage when she needed it the most. And it took courage to act on the feelings she had for Jamie. And Charlie finally understood that leadership is more than ordering the team around. He had to treat them as equals and let them take the lead when the time was right. I'll tackle the paperwork in the morning. Can you find your own way out? It was, as always, enlightening. I have no doubt we'll meet again in the future. Farewell.
The chain of events are still unclear at this point in time. What we can confirm is that a little after 7:30, a truck driver was flagged down to render aid. The police were called and quickly arrived on scene. The injured are part of a film crew, Lonnet Entertainment, the team behind the Architects of Murder docuseries.
Fuck, man.
It seems
I
as
liked
though
that
they
show.
got a little too close to their subject material. Thankfully for them, the nightmare is finally over.
Holy shit. Remember how my video went viral?
How could we forget? You bring it up every chance you get.
Just listen to this. I got enough views to win a competition.
What did you win?
An all-expense paid trip to an island resort for 5.
Now I'm interested.
Yeah, Mr. Dumet says they're gonna send a limo and everything. This is gonna be so much fun.
Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over to another year? Oh, what is this I cannot see with icy hands taking hold of me? Oh, death and death, none can excel. I open the doors to heaven and hell. Yes, I have come to get your soul and leave your body and leave it cold. To drop the flesh from on your frame, the earth and worm both have their claim. I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? Now, death, if this is true, please give me time to reason with you. From time to time you heard and saw, so I close your eyes and I lock your jaw. I'll lock your jaw so you can't talk. I'll fix your feet so you can't walk. And I'll dim your eyes so you can see this very hour. Now come with me. I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? Now, death, please give me time to fix my heart and change my mind. Your heart is fixed, your mind is brought. I'll have your shackles to drag you down. Too late, to all farewell. My dawn is fixed, I'm summoned to hell. As long as God in heaven shall dwell, my poor soul shall burn in hell. I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another eve? I said, oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over to another
This is Commander Stafford, the forward reconnaissance vessel Cassiopeia. After successfully rendezvousing with the Charybdis marker, we have detached the booster ring and spirits are high as we make our final approach to Tau Ceti F. The ship has suffered a hull impact, but damage is minimal, and our technicians are restoring full functionality.
This is Thomas Carter. Something's wrong with Sims. She's trying to kill me. I think...
Our next transmission will be broadcast from orbit around humanity's future home. Stafford out.
Torture chambers, secret passageways, vats of acid, and deadly vaults. In 1895, Chicago police unearthed horrific evidence of torture and multiple murders at the sprawling castle of H.H. Holmes. Masquerading under the guise of caring doctor, kind husband, and prominent businessman, H.H. Holmes was a contemporary monster, designing his buildings solely for the disposal of human bodies. Torture Doctor, Monster of 63rd Street. H.H. Holmes was America's first serial killer. Just south of Chicago, the suburb of Inglewood was thriving with commerce. The train station itself had 9 leading lines of railway and over 100 trains stopping there every day. No other suburb of Chicago had this luxury.
Dr. Henry Howard Holmes. A pleasure to meet you.
Arriving in Chicago, Holmes finds work immediately at the E.S. Holton drugstore, located at the southeast corner of 63rd and Wallace in Englewood. Several months later, Everett Holton dies of supposed natural causes. Then Claire Holton, his wife, disappears after selling the drugstore to Holmes. Owning the drugstore, Holmes had a steady flow of cash. He would often purchase and resell goods and properties under his numerous aliases. In addition to scamming creditors, Holmes obtained his funds from other phony inventions, such as a mineral water elixir, which in reality was obtained from the city's water supply. 1888, Holmes secures a lease on the vacant property across the street from the drugstore, the southwest corner of 63rd and Wallace. It is here that Holmes will make his horrific dreams come true. He will construct a building for which the entire world will remember him.
fantasies start very young. And so what he did then was he took a step furtherance of his fantasies to make it reality. And probably, if we had done a little bit of an investigation back then, we would have seen things like his plans, but not just plans for a building, because we'd expect to see architectural plans, but plans for his torture rooms.
For the suburb of Englewood, the building Holmes is erecting at 63rd and Wallace is a massive construction project. Day after day, passers-by stop to gaze at the spectacle of the many laborers working together to create a magnificent new edifice in their neighborhood. Englewood residents were so impressed with the massive building that they named it the Castle. From its outward appearance, it seemed rather normal. But like the duality of homes, the exterior and interior of the building were extremely different.
Holmes himself was the architect of the building. He was the only one who knew its design. There was this constant turnover of workers on the building. He would hire a mason to put in a wall and then fire the guy, or hire somebody to put in part of a staircase and then fire him. And there seemed to be several very sinister reasons behind that. One was he managed not to pay a lot of these people because he was always claiming that they were doing incompetent work. But the other, much more insidious reason was that no one except him really had a clear idea of what the structure of the interior of the house was. He had a huge bank vault installed in one of the rooms. And the way he did it was he put the vault in first while the building was under construction, and then built the room around it. And he bought this thing on credit and then refused to pay for it. The bank company said they were going to repossess the vault. Holmes said, well, you know, come on in and do, but if you damage my building in any way, I'm going to sue you for everything you're worth.
The bottom floor of the castle housed a pharmacy, jewelry store, barber shop, restaurant, and a blacksmith shop. Behind this innocent facade was a Gothic house of horrors designed by the mind of a monster. The third floor seemed innocent enough, containing rented rooms, legitimate offices, and Holmes's own bedroom. But it was the second floor that contained 35 rooms, many specifically designed as killing chambers. Disorienting unsuspecting victims, the labyrinthian construction contained numerous staircases and doorways that led nowhere. For a quick method of hiding a victim's body, a concealed greased chute and trapdoor led directly into the basement of the castle. The basement held the most terrifying rooms, resembling a medieval torture dungeon. Acid vats, quicklime pits, and a crematorium disguised as a glass-bending furnace were Holmes's favorite methods of immediate body disposal. After cleaning and mounting their bones, Holmes would profit from his victims by selling their skeletons to local medical schools and universities. Holmes would make a killing in Chicago, financially and literally. May 1st, 1893, the World's Columbian Exposition is open to the public in Chicago. Spanning 600 acres, sprawled out along beautiful Lake Michigan, the magnificent fair is a monumental sight to behold. Over 20 million people from around the world would attend the dazzling World's Fair between May 1st and October 30th, 1893. Holmes utilizes the World's Fair as the perfect opportunity to capitalize on his demented design of the castle. Located only a few miles from the World's Fair, Holmes's castle was perfect lodging for tourists. Holmes decides to rent rooms to visitors of the fair. He entirely renovates the upper floors of the castle, bringing in the most modern furnishings and luxuries, all purchased on credit, which Holmes had no intention of repaying. In addition to placing newspaper ads for rooms to rent, Holmes visited the fair with several of Benjamin Peitzel's children, preying on elderly women who flaunted their wealth, making sure he invited them back to the castle for a warm night's stay in a soft bed.
They're not calling their relatives, telling them where they're at. They just know that they're going to Chicago to see the Columbian Exposition. Perfect victims, because they're unknown in the city. Their relatives, wherever they came from, know that they were coming to Chicago, and they never came back. Now, how do you start to find them? They don't even know where they stayed. Perfect, easy victims. I'm sure some of them got in and out of his place with no problem. And others, they walked in and they never checked out.
Some of the rooms had been completely lined with asbestos to make them soundproof.
Hidden in Holmes's office was a master control panel which connected to gas lines leading into airtight sleeping chambers. Holmes would lead his victims into the rooms, lock them in, and turn on the gas, asphyxiating them while watching their demise.
Let me out! Holmes, let me out, please! Holmes! Holmes! Holmes, please! Holmes!
At the height of the World's Fair, Holmes masterfully juggles his castle businesses, renting rooms, dodging creditors, selling skeletons, and attending to the needs of the many women in his life.
I have had many young ladies in my employ, most of whom are still living in and about Chicago, whose parents and friends know only too well that far from being their seducer, I have done much to materially help them in their narrow lives.
Being a personable, attractive young doctor and businessman, Holmes won the hearts of many women throughout his life. At one point, Holmes managed to secretly have 3 wives, each never knowing of the others. In 1890, Julia Connor became Holmes's employee and mistress, living at the castle with her daughter Pearl. When she became pregnant and demanded marriage, Holmes agreed on the condition that she allowed him to perform an abortion on her. She agreed. Neither Julia nor her daughter Pearl were ever seen again. Just a week later, Holmes sold a clean, articulated skeleton to the Hahnemann Medical College for nearly $200. In 1892, Holmes acquired another mistress, Emmeline Sigrand, and employed her as private secretary. Holmes sent Emmeline into the vault to retrieve some papers and sealed it, suffocating her to death. Several weeks later, the University of Chicago acquired a female skeleton from Dr. Holmes. In 1893, Minnie Williams became Holmes's new private secretary and eventually his mistress. Minnie was the beneficiary of a property in Fort Worth, Texas, valued at over $40,000. Holmes murdered Minnie and her younger sister Nanny after having Minnie sign over the Fort Worth property to him. In 1894, Georgiana Yoke became Holmes's third wife. He married her under the name Henry Mansfield Howard. Like his other legitimate wives, Georgiana lived out her entire life. On July 19, 1895, Chicago police enter the Holmes castle. The world would now learn of the horrors that the castle had kept secret for so very long. As disoriented detectives and police searched the upper floors of the castle, the true depths of Holmes's evil were waiting in the basement. Among the death devices in the basement of the castle, investigators find piles of mixed human and animal bones, bloody women's undergarments, and a wooden dissection table saturated with dried blood. Chicago police were inundated with names of people reported missing from the World's Fair. 50 missing people were eventually traced to the Castle of Horrors. The evidence, blood and bones found in the basement posed a problem for 19th century criminal investigative techniques.
It was very difficult to go and identify even the bones as being human in origin, because with the very small fragments you didn't have enough of the identifying characteristics to be able to make that ID.
The world is now calling Holmes the Monster of 63rd Street, Torture Doctor, and the Modern Bluebeard. Overnight, Holmes transforms from arch-swindler to arch-fiend. A Chicago journalist calls Holmes a multi-murderer.
The Holmes case generated this incredible amount of national attention and really international attention. Really in his own time and in America, Holmes was much more notorious and more widely known than Jack the Ripper, who was a contemporary of his. Then as now, people were very, very fascinated to sort of visit the sites of these terrible crimes, and his castle became a kind of tourist site. And there were various people who wanted to take it over and turn it into a kind of murder museum. And then, just before some impresario was about to make it again into this tourist attraction. It just burnt down. Somebody burnt it down. I mean, it could have been, who knows, some outraged citizen who didn't want this to become some very morbid tourist attraction. Holmes's trial was kind of the O.J. Simpson trial of the day. It just generated this huge amount of publicity. The case had become a kind of national obsession. Of course, there wasn't CNN or Court TV back then, so it couldn't be covered quite as relentlessly, but it was covered very, very extensively. There were true crime books and pamphlets and all kinds of stuff. And Holmes himself had become a sort of folk figure almost, you know, the sort of national boogeyman.
The courtroom fills for the final verdict to be read. Holmes becomes extremely nervous when not one of the jury members looks at him. In his entire criminal career, this is the moment Holmes never believed would occur. He is found guilty of murder in the first degree. Herman Webster Mudgett, alias H.H. Holmes, would be hanged on May 7th, 1896.
While Holmes was in jail, awaiting the execution of the sentence, he was made an offer by William Randolph Hearst, supposedly for a significant amount of money, to provide his confessions. Holmes, who had already issued about a half a dozen completely self-contradictory versions of his crimes, clearly at this point felt he had nothing to lose. He was going to die anyway. In this confession, he did a complete about-face and portrayed himself as the worst monster who ever lived. He just basically confessed to every crime anybody had ever suspected him of and threw in a few more for good measure.
He's reliving the fantasies after the fact now. He's reliving the fantasies of things that he did.
She was very willing to do this and prepared to leave the vault upon completing the letter, only to learn that the door would never again be opened until she had ceased to suffer the tortures of a slow and lingering death. The partial excavation in the walls of this room found by the police was caused by Latimer's endeavoring to escape by tearing away the solid brick and mortar with his unaided fingers. I closed the door and turned on both the oil and steam to their full extent. In a short time, not even the bones of my victim remained. It was the footprint of Nanny Williams that was found upon the painted surface of the vault door, made during her violent struggles before death. Only one difficulty presented itself. It was necessary for me to kill him in such a manner that no struggle or movement of his body should occur. I overcame this difficulty by first binding him hand and foot, and having done this, I proceeded to burn him alive by saturating his clothing and his face with benzene and igniting it with a match. As soon as he had ceased to breathe, I cut his body into pieces, and by the combined use of gas and corn cobs, proceeded to burn it with as little feeling as though it had been some inanimate object. I immediately took them to the Vincent Street house and compelled them to get within the large trunk, through the cover of which I had made a small opening and ended their lives by connecting the gas with the trunk. Then came the opening of the trunk and the viewing of their little blackened and distorted faces. Then the digging of their shallow graves in the basement of the house. The ruthless stripping off of their clothing and the burial without a particle of covering save the cold earth. I am convinced that since my imprisonment, I have changed woefully and gruesomely from what I was formerly in feature and figure. My features are assuming a pronounced satanical cast. My head and face are gradually assuming an elongated shape. I believe fully that I am growing to resemble the devil.
On the gallows, just before he died, he recanted. He claimed that the confession that he had published was a complete fabrication.
The extent of my wrongdoing in the taking of human life consists in contriving the killing of 2 women that have died at my hands as a result of criminal operations. That is all I have to say.
H. Holmes is hanged on Thursday, May 7th, 1896, just 9 days before his 35th birthday. At 10:25 a.m., he is pronounced dead.
He was very concerned that after his execution, his body would be dug up either by medical men seeking to dissect his brain and find out what made him tick, or just ghoulish sort of, souvenir hunters, and he requested that he be buried within a big slab of concrete, which he actually was. One of the things about Holmes is that nobody knows for sure how many people he actually killed, although in my researches, which were pretty, I feel, thorough and extensive, it seemed very clear to me that he murdered at least 9 people. There have been stories that he killed 50, 100, countless people, particularly in Chicago at the height of the World's Fair.
How many people did Holmes actually murder? Most likely, no one will ever know. Holmes and the many other people that came in contact with him are long gone, having taken the answers with them to their graves.
I was born with the devil in me. I could not help the fact that I was a murderer no more than the poet can help the inspiration to sing. I was born with the evil one standing as my sponsor beside the bed where I was ushered into the world. And he has been with me since.
Oh my God, that's gruesome.
Right? Investigating violent crime is gruesome. It's stressful and it can get to you. Agent Monday started seeking professional help. We have here a transcript from one of the sessions Monday attended with Dr. Isabella Garcia. Michelle, will you grab that piece of paper over there and read it for us?
Sure. Psychological assessment conducted by Dr. Isabella Garcia. Patient name, Monday, Hector. Behavioral observation. Hector arrived at our scheduled appointment 24 minutes late. Once we sat down and began the session, he struggled to maintain eye contact. He found it difficult to articulate his feelings and was terse and guarded throughout. Hector has been working long hours and, as a result, isn't sleeping well. Hector spoke about his recently deceased mother and displayed evidence that he hasn't yet fully come to terms with her death. I strongly recommended a course of antidepressants, but he is resistant to this idea, believing that it would have a detrimental effect on his capability with regards to his current investigation. Hector describes his work in immaculate detail, and contrary to earlier in the session, his thought content is both coherent and logical. He is displaying an unhealthy obsession with his work, but his recent bereavement may be the underlying issue.
So what do we know? Agent Monday is at his lowest point. He's struggling with the case, and he's being guided in his actions by a convicted mass murderer. This one is really going to give our listeners something to remember. It's the fourth and final meeting of Agent Hector Monday and the Beast of Arkansas, Manny Sherman. Hold on to your hats. This one is going to get tasty.
You want to know what it means to be a killer? You ever been to the art museum downtown? They got this painting by a guy, I forget his name, famous painter. He did portraits of slaughtered cows hanging on hooks. You take a normal person to a slaughterhouse, and they will puke their guts out. You make it into a painting, and suddenly it's art. There's no difference between the two. No, not really. Don't look at me like that. You know I'm right. You get it. I know you get it. You got to do something that matters. Make people feel something they've never felt before. Shatter the illusion that any of us are really in control. Think of the most profound thing you've ever done. The most beautiful thing you've ever created. And I promise you, it's nothing compared to watching the life bleed out of someone. To see the fear in their eyes. To feel them pawing at you for release. To hear them pleading, begging. That moment when someone realizes they are at their end. That's when you feel it. That's true art. That's what you have to be. An artist. A sculptor. An architect. I see the gleam in your eye, Agent Monday. You're not fooling me. Ah, look at you now, huh? Am I gonna be your first? Well, come on then, huh? I'm right here. This room is soundproof. You don't even have to wait for a plane to fly overhead. There you are. I see you now. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Bare hands can feel good, huh? But the blade makes for such a prettier picture. You've got potential, Agent Monday. If you truly want to be an artist.
Monday flipped? And what was all that stuff about being an artist?
That's how Sherman saw himself.
He was a killer.
Which is why we covered him in episode 117, Michelle. Okay, just listen to this. On June 17, 1998, neighbors reported hearing screams coming from Agent Monday's apartment. I've managed to get hold of the actual audio from the body mic worn by the first responder who answered the call.
Chicago Police! Mr. Monday, this is Chicago Police. Can you open the door, please? Mr. Monday, I'm Officer Stanley with Chicago Police Department. Can you hear me, sir? Agent Monday? Fuck! Oh! Dispatch, this is Officer Stanley. I need assistance at 8 West 50th Street, requesting immediate backup. I'm in Agent Monday's apartment. There's blood everywhere, and a body. I need immediate support. I think...
Plot twist. So Monday was actually investigating his own murders. He was the shoeshine killer.
I bet you didn't see that one coming.
Did they get him?
You're racing ahead now, Michelle. Let's hear the moment Officer Richie Martinez cornered Agent Monday.
All units, this is dispatch. Be on the lookout for a male suspect believed to be the shoeshine killer. Suspect is FBI Special Agent Hector Monday. He may be armed and is highly dangerous.
Dispatch, this is Officer Martinez. I found Monday's car, requesting backup.
Officer Martinez, what's your location?
A warehouse on Park Avenue, Fulton River. Looks abandoned.
Officer Martinez, backup on its way. Hold your position.
Copy that. Shit! He's seen me!
Officer Martinez, hold your position.
Shit! We have a situation. Dispatch, the building's on fire.
Fire department on their way.
He's still in there. You read me? Copy. He's still in there.
Monday got sloppy with his car?
Maybe. Or maybe Monday wanted that police officer to find it.
Well, I don't get it.
He knew the roads were being watched. His car would have been pulled over the moment he left the city. So he needed another way out. Let's hear how Chicago AM reported events in their morning bulletin.
Good morning, Chicago. We begin today with some breaking news. Chicago police today confirmed the body of a man found in a fire at an abandoned warehouse in the Fulton River district to be that of missing FBI agent Hector Monday. Monday has been identified as the shoeshine killer, whose recent killing spree struck fear into the hearts of locals in and around Chicago. A spokesperson for Chicago PD confirmed Monday murdered 4 victims, including yesterday evening police officer Patrick Stanley, a dedicated veteran of 22 years. The fire was brought under control shortly before 5 a.m. this morning. The body recovered at the scene was burnt beyond recognition, but police identified Monday from dental records.
So, that was the end of Special Agent Hector Monday.
Whoa, hold your horses. You think it's so difficult to forge dental records? Monday was a teeth puller, remember? He probably had a collection. And he was a highly motivated FBI field agent.
You think he faked his own death?
I don't know. But this case has one more twist. On February 16th, 2001, there was an incident at the Chicago PD Evidence Management Facility. Michelle, can you grab that report next to you and read it out for our listeners?
At 0600 hours, I, Officer Frank Hooper, discovered that one or multiple individuals had gained unauthorized access to the evidence room at 1612 West State Street. Among the missing items were assets recovered from the apartment of former FBI agent Hector Monday, including books, clothes, notes, surgical tools, and dental equipment. Wait.
Keep reading.
We are currently running with the theory that this was the direct result of souvenir hunters looking for a piece of memorabilia from the case. End of report.
Interesting, right?
He set the whole thing up?
In that list of stolen items, reportedly, was a piece of paper with a list of names.
Aliases? What are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just putting it out there.
You think Agent Monday is still at large?
Well, if he is, maybe he can call into the show and let us know.
Our lines are open.
Well, that's all we have time for this podcast. We're taking a short break for a certain anniversary trip next week, but we'll be back after that for more murderous content to delight you all.
Until then, this has been Michelle Morello.
And I've been Joe Morello. Thank you for listening. Please like this podcast and hit the subscribe button, or I'll send Michelle over to brutally kill you all.
I have an axe at the ready.
This is Joe Morello saying be safe, don't split up, and keep looking behind you.
Good night.
Good night.
My name is Kate Wilder. I've got a master's in criminal psychology. I'm an investigative journalist and hope to make a difference.
Hey, we're here with Jessie Buckley to talk about Supermassive's brand new game in the Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me. So let's start at the beginning. Tell us a bit about the character that you play.
I play a character called Kate Wilder.
who is a presenter who's part of this documentary team who are doing a show about the serial killer H.H. Holmes. America's first serial killer confessed to 27 murders. The number grew significantly. Nearly 200 lives.
I'm a serial killer documentary watcher. Is that your jam too?
Yeah, I'll watch a serial killer documentary.
Right? It's really relaxing. Like, okay, cool,
Yeah,
I can
it's
chill
kind
out.
of fascinating why we're all addicted to kind of those stories.
We need a plan. Forget his games, traps, all that bullshit. Think about the killers we've covered. There's always a weakness.
I'm not playing detective, I just want to survive.
Playing detective is how we survive.
So what interested you in the role of Kate?
Well, to be honest, I've never played a video game in my life, and I had no idea what the hell the world was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was firstly why I kind of was like, oh yeah, that sounds new and fun. And yeah, and then I read the script and talked to Alita, who's our director, and it seemed like a really lovely thing to be part of and something new and fun. And I can't believe how they create this world.
And action.
You know, usually I just get a script and it's like 70 to 100 pages long, but there's like 300 pages in one script. It's unbelievable.
So as you kind of mentioned, the game has multiple branching paths, so your character could end up in any number of situations. What's it like to film a scene, you know, multiple times with different endings?
What I've found is like you can only be in whatever strand you're in at that time and figure out the emotion of it at that moment, because then you can offer up something completely different when you go into a different strand. And it's a very like immediate experience, which I guess is also what a player will feel when they're doing it as well. So I just kind of try and keep my head in where we are right there at that moment. And if I was trying to think of what was happening in the other strand, it would be a disaster.
It must be really hard, yeah, because you kind of have this mapping, I suppose, in your brain of what, you know, what the outcomes could be, and then just trying to stay in that moment. It's very interesting stuff. So many things can happen to characters in the Dark Pictures anthologies. How do you make sure that Kate is always Kate, no matter what she's kind of faced with?
Well, I guess before we started, we did a big read-through with everybody, so it was good to kind of get a handle on who she is in the context of the environment she's in, but also the relationships that are in the world as well. It just kind of reveals itself from the script, and I just kind of let her run free and see what
That's so cool,
happens to her. Yeah, I don't think anybody has continuity in themselves. I don't anyway.
It must be very difficult. Yeah, really difficult. And that's it. I guess it's quite good fun to then go, okay, let's go with this and see where we end up.
Well, I think also Kate lives on the knife edge of she has a genuine obsession and curiosity about serial killers. So there's part of her that's kind of running towards it and part of her that's running away from it, you know, and all of them have come to be curious about H.H. Holmes, but also with that, you're kind of living a real life horror as you're going into this world.
So, come on, Charlie. What do we know about this guy?
And everybody's fantastic, like, and they're all such distinctive people, you know. And they all somehow genuinely feel like a crew, you know, like you kind of have the kind of riffs.
Charlie is thinking. She looks a lot like a temper tantrum.
And the new fledgling loves, and then the kind of creeping horror of your life. What are you doing with your life?
Sounds very familiar. Yeah, I think I've been there at 3 a.m.
What is all of this?
Okay, so let's talk about the setting that Kate finds herself in. I've heard something about murder castles. I'd like to know more.
So the production company that Kate works for, Lonnet Entertainment, they get a mysterious call from a stranger who says that he's basically made a replica of H.H. Holmes' murder castle.
Wicked.
And invites them to come and document it because he knows that they're interested in serial killers. And Lonnet Entertainment, which is run by a character called Charlie, is kind of hard up, but only Charlie knows that. And so even though Kate is a bit kind of resistant to go because it just feels like another kind of fuddy-duddy thing, they agree to go to this island as one last kind of hurrah.
It sounds like absolutely nothing awful is going to happen. It sounds like a perfect setup.
I'm going to have a cup of tea.
Delightful. Yeah, lovely island. Very nice.
Look! Years are the wine that fill the cup of time.
So in the game, you've got quite a limited inventory. Which items would you take into the house if you could take anything?
I'd probably take, like, I think, look, all these mad people are just in need of a hug. So I'd probably take a bottle of wine and just be like, mate, let's just sit down, have a glass of wine, talk about what's going on here.
Get Charlie's fags. Come here.
Have
Let's
a
just
fag.
calm
Let's
down.
just calm down. That's my weapon of choice. I'd kill him with kindness.
Well, you could at least start with the wine, and if that doesn't work, you've got the bottle. So I mean, it's
perfect.
You're done. You're done.
And if not, I could just drink it myself and have a lovely time.
Some kind of belt with 3 or 4 of them attached. Off you go. It's all going to be fine. And if it's not fine, you're not going to know about it.
Yeah.
Done. Perfect. Good choice.
Think it's okay if we pour some wine?
God, please do.
So you've mentioned the chase scene with the other girls. Was that fun? That